Another issue the president is expected to address is the fight against ISIS. He has said he will pull U.S. troops out of Syria while keeping some at a base in Iraq. CBS News has obtained a Pentagon report that warns without sustained pressure on ISIS, it could reorganize in Syria within 6 to 12 months. Mr. Trump spoke about ISIS in his interview with Face the Nation moderator Margaret Brennan. His comments drew a sharp response overseas today. We're going to have more on that, and Margaret will join us. But first, here's the clip.
Being in Iraq, it was a big mistake to go. One of the greatest mistakes going into the Middle East that our country has ever made. One of the greatest mistakes that we've ever made.
But you want to keep troops there now.
When it was chosen, well, we spent a fortune on building this incredible base. We might as well keep it. And one of the reasons I want to keep it is because I want to be looking a little bit at Iran, because Iran is a real problem.
Whoa, that's news. You're keeping troops in Iraq because you want to be able to strike in Iran?
No, because I want to be able to watch Iran. All I want to do is be able to watch. We have an unbelievable and expensive military base built in Iraq. It's perfectly situated for looking at all over different parts of the troubled Middle East. Rather than pulling up, and this is what a lot of people don't understand, we're going to keep watching. And we're going to keep seeing. And if there's trouble, if somebody's looking to do nuclear weapons or other things, we're going to know it before they do.
And Margaret joins us now here in New York. Good to have you here.
Good to be with you.
What's been the reaction in the region to this comment?
Not a good reaction. This is something that the president described and really got ahead of himself on, because Iraq has not agreed to do what the president laid out in that interview. What we have right now are 5,200 troops in Iraq with the premise that they're there to fight ISIS. Iraq's president said today, don't overburden us with your agenda. He did not like to hear the president say there that he wants U.S. troops to now change their mission and focus on neighboring Iran. Iran is a country that has tremendous influence within Iraq and on Iraqi leadership. So the president's words may actually make it more difficult for their leadership to agree to allow U.S. troops to remain. So he really upended some really delicate diplomacy.
All right, another part of this wide-ranging interview, Margaret, the president does at home now face a Democratic-controlled Congress. Some are calling for impeachment. You asked the president about impeachment. What did he say? This
really sparked anger in the president. He was clear. He said there have been no high crimes. There have been no misdemeanors. Those are the two constitutionally laid out premises for going ahead with impeachment proceedings. The president has continued to deny any wrongdoing throughout this, but really his strategy has been to attack the Mueller probe on two bases. One is to say there was no coordination or cooperation with Russia to interfere in the 2016 election. But he's also laying out a political strategy here, and that is to cast all of this in purely political terms. He's trying to do what President Bill Clinton did successfully, which is when you go ahead with an impeachment vote, if there is one, I'm not saying there will be, but that you can convince people to vote purely on partisan lines and not on the basis of the charges themselves.
All right, Margaret, thank you very much. Worth looking at the full transcript for anybody who's interested. Margaret, thank you very much once again. We will see you tomorrow, by the way, in D.C. Margaret will join me for our coverage of the President's State of the Union address tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. That is 6 p.m. Pacific.